Hello and welcome CommunityFT members to this morning's Daily Market Report brought to you on behalf of CommunityFT, in which we're going to take a look at some major movements to potentially occur over the next 24 hours. But before we do that, at this point, let us all embrace a quick risk warning. See if we can familiarise ourselves with the information in front, engage as much as is possible simply so that hereafter any decisions you make in your trading are of a fully informed nature. Okay, so what's on the cards this morning then within our scope? We're going to take a look at some economies, the value of those economies as is reflected by the value of their currency, and we'll also take a look then at some energies, okay? And as you can see, there's some fundamental data expected today for the loonie. Okay, what I'm going to do now, guys, is establish some key areas of resistance and some now almost historical areas of support, okay? And it's not just normal support, okay, this is dynamic support. And the shape, the overall shape we have here is what's called an ascending triangle. Now, the ascending triangle is of interest to us as traders because what it helps us see is shifting support upward in the market coupled with resistance. And should the low prices continue to move in that manner, it can be indicative of an overall bullish trend. Should it breach that gradient they're previously following, it can be indicative of short positions. And here was two very strong indicators backing up confirmation that that was happening, okay? First and foremost, the 55-day EMA was hit, and we see previously that has been very, very accurate, relatively accurate anyway with regard to signaling breakouts. Furthermore, the ascending triangle diagonal was breached and signaled another short position. And on top of that, the MACD was beginning to turn negative, showing momentum moving downward. All confirmation of downward movements. But even with all of that, and here's what's very key to note, even with all of that, it's very easy to think that you're correct and take almost at face value your own predictions. But in every case, we must accept that risk and uncertainty is inherent of making decisions with regard to speculations of where prices will go in capital markets. So risk management is key here. And one thing we can do to hedge our positions is take a long position now, as is signaled by the oversold indicator on the stochastic, to the long side. And that could be a way to hedge if the market does retrace and we miss out on this opportunity. Now let's also take a look at crude oil, and what's interesting here is the correlation between crude oil and Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar itself needs crude oil's price to be somewhere above $100 a barrel in order to make it profitable, in order for the economy, if you think of it as a very big business, to be profitable. So in this case, okay, crude oil fell, the Canadian dollar weakened to a huge degree, and crude oil is still somewhere that's quite weak, guys, okay? Whoops, let me go back to the dailies. Still somewhere that's quite weak. It seems to be back around $50 a barrel, okay? Now, in terms of crude oil, guys, and the opportunities herein, we have a nice opportunity signaled. The market recently crossed the 100-day exponential moving average to the upside. The commodity channel index seems to be on the positive again, showing momentum going toward the higher range of things, okay? So, let's imagine we were to get this wrong, and this trade did go against us. Here's why it might be okay, because if we're using a strategy like our own strategy we're looking at in front, and you can see the abundance of winning positions here over the last, let's say, 6 months to a year in crude oil, what's very apparent is that when we take some positions and they don't work out, if we're managing our risk correctly, the overall strategy is a winning system. And that's what's very key to be able to develop, to be able to diligently strive to develop and maintain throughout one's trading career. So we hope that's been of help, folks, and given you some useful insights. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch. We welcome all inquiries. We'll see you on Monday, and as we say here, have a great day and keep learning.